Alrighty, here we are into round one at Hampton Downs. Plenty of positives to take out of the weekend, even though Dan may not think so at some points of it. But yeah, to be honest, the car looks like it's got plenty of pace. I was sitting there in the back watching what you were doing, but everything looks like it's going all right.
Geez, you've just said it all. Yeah, like you say, there's plenty of positives to take out of this weekend. We had good raw car speed, which is critical and number one. I made a few mistakes. Probably double.
You won't be the first, and you won't be the last.
It's not my first mistake, but I think I've doubled my tally of mistakes. Through all last year and this year. Today, I've just doubled all my mistakes. So, we've got to try and eliminate them, or I have to try and eliminate them, and come back fitter and stronger.
All right, well, I've got a couple of questions for you. Who's your racing hero?
Who's my racing hero? Jimmy Johnson.
All right, question number 2. Any pre-race superstitions?
I have Lucky Racing socks. They're pretty old now. I've had them for a few years, and they're obviously the Nomex fireproof socks, and I use them week in, week out.
Yeah, I can tell. They smell. Got any nicknames?
Dan, Gaunty, probably some others that I don't know about.
What's the secret to a fast lap around Hampton Downs?
I guess like anywhere, braking. You got to have confidence under brakes here. Turn one, critical to get turn one right, and the last corner. The other ones are pretty straightforward, but getting into turn one, being able to come off the brake, carry your speed, and then the same again with the last one, braking deep, getting off the brake, carrying your speed, and being early to the throttle for the long straight here.
Yeah, it looked like you guys got the car pretty sorted there. I got a chance to jump in for the hot laps, which was pretty cool, and I must say the car was pretty damn hooked up from what I could tell.
Yeah, Steve and I were. Steve was engineering, and we were working together this weekend. And he did a fantastic job steering the boat in the right direction. We had a little bit of work to do during practice. Car wasn't quite there, but by the end, the car was a rocket ship, like we saw in qualifying. There was more in it there too. But the way things panned out, top 3 in qualifying in this field. If you can do that most weekends, you'd be pretty happy with your car speed. Yeah,
definitely. All right, question number 5 is, what is the most challenging part of competing in V8 SuperTourers? I think you just summed that one up.
I guess the competition, like if you're slightly off your game, like I made a small mistake with McIntyre in race 1 this weekend, and it cost us the whole weekend. It was a weekend that could have been. We could have come away with a handful of podiums. So it's a weekend that could have been, and the racing is tough. If you make one small mistake, you're punished severely.
Yeah, it seems that way. There's at least 1 or 2 others out there that they didn't get the best start, and you just stuck down the bottom for the rest of the weekend, it seems. So what is your fitness regime?
I do a lot of riding. I live in Melbourne, obviously, so I do a lot of riding in Melbourne, a lot of running, and I haven't been doing a lot of weights lately, but if I can get a weights, Des and Troy, they together they destroy. They haven't had much of a workout lately, but fitness as far as exercise go, it's important.
Yeah, especially with this format with all 3 races in one day, it seems pretty tough.
It is. It's a pretty taxing day on the body. It was only one of the races. It was less than an hour break, and so it was sort of like a big long endurance race where you just try and get all the fluids you can on board during the day, and then eat when you can, and try and do the I think, what was it, 65 odd late racing laps, so plus qualifying.
It's tough. It looks tough out there. One last question. Does being a race driver help with the ladies?
I'm not sure. I don't think it helps me. I think it helps some guys, but it hasn't really helped me too much, I guess. I don't use that card if that's what you're asking.
All right, well, that's it. We'll wrap that up there, and roll on Ruapuna. Dan did a good job. As I said earlier, there's plenty of positives to get out of it, and keep in touch.